Hey guys, it's your boy Deempo. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing well. And today we're back with some more ABI content. In particular, we're discussing why Season 2, or should I say Season Ignition, Season 1.5, whatever you want to call it, it's probably the best time to get right into ABI. And I think against the odds, I think they are really onto something good here. I think they've delivered a good thing. Now, before I get started with this video though, there's one thing I need to make crystal clear. I'm in no shape or form endorsed to make this video. I do not get paid by ABI to make this video. I do not get paid by ABI to talk good about it. As a matter of fact, if you have seen my previous videos, I've criticized them quite heavily before the start of this season. But hey, for all my skepticism, I believe they have turned things around. I think we've turned a new page with this game, which is good because it's kind of rekindled my passion for this game. And you can see my energy on streams have changed as well. You know, there's a lot more content to make videos on. There is something for everyone this season. And I think that's where they absolutely nailed it. We had like a radio silence for a while. Season 1 got very stale very fast. A lot of changes were being made and people were not happy about it. And then the devs pretty much like doubled down and made some more changes. Some of which I wasn't happy about at the start and I'm still kind of on the fence about it. Some of which I'm really happy about. So we'll discuss more of that as we dive into this video. So what is ABI Ignition? Season Ignition, should I say? It's essentially a segue between Season 1 and Season 2. It's kind of smack bang in the middle, not quite Season 2, but not quite Season 1 either. You know, we had a myriad of new weapons being introduced with the AK and MCX, some of to speak of, and then we also had the, where's the carbine? We had weapons like the SVTU, which is this one here, and then we had some new handguns being added as well. But I think the majority of the changes and the big W for this season came from none other than the different modes we have here, like the limited time events. And I'm telling you, given the popularity of solo ops and particularly secure ops, I don't think these mods will be taken down. I genuinely believe they're here to stay. I don't think the devs are dumb enough to take this down. These were meant to be introduced towards the end of this month, but the devs did a quick U-turn given the backlash we had from the community, and it pretty much brought them over into day 2. I think if they didn't do that, this game's outlook would have been looking really bleak. So let's just discuss why I think this season not only has brought back a lot of players, but also has reignited my passion as an avid ABI fan and an ABI streamer and content creator, because it has something for everybody, right? So first things first, secure ops. If you're new to the game, right, or if you're like a veteran of the game like I am, if you have like a lot of money, if you don't have enough money, secure ops is the go-to mode. You learn how to PvP. On TV station, you make absolute bank as well. Not so much on armory and farm, but the option is there for you to play. You can learn how to fight, you can learn how to do rotations at minimal risk. So essentially what happens is, in secure ops, you only lose your ammo. You still keep your gun, you still keep your kit. The only catch is, you can only spawn into secure ops with 400k maximum. So if you don't know what to bring for 400k, I have heaps of guides on how to min-max this. So what guns to bring, what guns you know not to bring. And essentially, I've just done the research for you, and I've put out a guide on what's the best weapon to run to have advantage of other players. If you're not essentially running those weapons, you're doing yourself a disservice and you're putting yourself at disadvantage. But back to the point at hand, what makes secure mode so great is because it's accessible. And a lot of people struggle to make coin in this game. Yes, I always see the comments, oh, this game is so easy to make money. Yeah, maybe for you, but not for people that work full-time and got families and stuff like that, right? This game does not revolve just around you. This game is for everybody. This game is to have fun. And if you think it's too easy to make money, well, that's your problem. Go and play some Forbidden or whatever the case may be. So they've brought modes that cater to the casual players. Just pretty much after a long day at work, you can just plug in where you left off and continue and not be at any disadvantage against people like me that have, say, I don't even know how much value do I even have. Like if you look at my stash inventory, what am I, like 400 million, 500 million. So you know, so for people like me, don't just absolutely run over you, or other people that they like to grief other players. Secure mode is the way to go. Risk-free, jump in there. Once you're ready to take that next step and you want to experience, you know, the true solo ops, the true survival aspect, extraction shooter, whatever you want to call it, you can then go to either normal mode, which also has a limit now of 300 because people used to griff it, people used to come thermals, tier 6. That's no longer the case. These degenerates can no longer do that anymore. Now you can go and experience your own leisure. Once again, I've made a lot of guides on how to min-max at 300k, so you can go in with the absolute maximum advantage you can, because if you don't do it, other players will, and that's just the nature of extraction shooters. Love it or hate it, that's the way it is. Or if you're someone that thinks they're gonna fare better on a lockdown mode, you can go for the solo ops, which is lockdown equivalent for solos, but the maps will rotate. So I really enjoy the Northridge TV station solo ops. I don't really enjoy it. I prefer secure ops, but once again, depending which side of the fence you are, this is an option, and it's great that they've added this option into the game. Now, my only criticism is they have not limited lockdown. I mean, what is the difference between lockdown and forbidden at this stage, right? Obviously the loot, but people go more killed in lockdown TV station that I've seen in forbidden, and it's absolutely wild. You get the same thing on Northridge as well, just thermal runners, but I just don't see why there shouldn't be like a 500 or even 400k cap on lockdown. If normal is capped at 300, make lockdown capped at 500. It's not hard to hit the 400k cap. I mean, you can run T4, T5, or you can run a good gun and you're already at 250k, and you put your gear on and that's already 400-500. So that's my take on it. Agree or disagree. I just feel like there needs to be more to differentiate lockdown from forbidden at the moment. I still think forbidden Northridge is freaking unreal, but the buy-in at 300k, I feel it's a little bit cheap. Forbidden should be higher risk, higher reward. But anyways, that's a topic for another discussion. That is something that I was not happy about, that they did not limit it, even they already placed limits on normal. But hey, each their own. We're all entitled to our opinion, agree or disagree. It's entirely up to you. I really don't care, but that's just my stance on it. So, once again, massive influx, big W. Options for casual players, big W. It doesn't feel like it's separated the player base. I think a lot of people are unhappy because they used to squad dump on solos. Now they no longer can do that. Or the solos they bump into actually skilled players. Now they're actually hunting squads like myself. So, hey, always more options is better. New influx of players is better. It desperately needed the lifeline to make sure when we get to Steam, we are perfectly poised, because Steam will give you a massive influx of players, but if the game is not ready, those players are going to come check out the game and they're like, meh, this is shit, they're going to leave, right? So I do understand why the devs want to perfect this game before it goes on to Steam. It makes a lot of sense, but we needed a sustainable player base until we get to Steam while we help them perfect this game. So another thing I was really vocal about that I'm actually now, I don't really mind, especially as a solo player, it's, believe it or not, the range nerf. I was a massive advocate against this. Nerfing the range, it did not hurt the game as much as I thought it would. If anything, gives you an extra chance to survive, unless you're stuck in a room and you're pushed by 2 or 3 players, then you're kind of screwed. You don't have the right ammo. But running across and just rats in bushes trying to like destroy your Northridge, it's no longer an option for them. Like, I've had standoff with a guy where I would just like dump at them, they'll mag dump back at me, and like the fight will last forever before we kill each other because we're both at a 50-60 meter range and we're both running ARs, right? So at first I thought there'll be a massive disadvantage, and now that I look at it, I'm beginning to think it's actually good for the game. Look, here's the thing, love it or hate it, as long as they keep doing this every season, change the meta every season, you know, now the TTK is high, next season the TTK may be low. As long as different guns get nerfed, buffed, so the meta changes, I'm all for that, right? We see it in Tarkov. It keeps the game fresh. It keeps the people engaged. You know, what was meta in Season 0 is not meta in Season Ignition, and vice versa with Season 1, right? So, I mean, if you saw it yesterday in my video, I did one on the M4, and I think the M4 is now actually strong after the nerf than it was before the nerf. Why? Because it just feels like the M4 is now at a good place because the recoil is more controllable. It's a lot cheaper to buy, and now every gun feels distinguishable, whereas before the gap between the H4 and the M4 wasn't that big, but the price gap wasn't either, so which means that the M4 almost costs as much as the H4, so there was no reason to run the M4 over the H4. Now there is. Guns like the Ace 31, they were historically underpowered, they were viable but underpowered, are now like meta budget guns to run. So, you know, we had new weapons introduced which diversified the meta even further. I think it's at a good place. I was kind of worried that the SVT will be absolutely busted. It's very strong, but it's not busted. So I think we have a balance. The armor now is worth running. Tier 6 now it's worth running. Leg meta is not as overpowered as it used to be. It's still very viable, but it's not as overpowered as it used to be. Shotguns seem at a much better place, especially if you're wearing pelvis protection like this armor here. So they're pretty much powerless, right? It'll take him a long time to get you down. So things like this, I feel they made the game a lot more welcoming, especially for new players. Like the game hasn't been out for 8 years like Tarkov has. It's very welcoming for new players. It's accessible. And I think this is a major win. And I've really been enjoying myself once again. I did not feel that enjoyment in Season 1 that I had in Season 0. I think that has now returned. It's viable for me to go and play Northwich Forbidden and make money. So if I look at my my battle record, so Forbidden's Northwich Forbidden, I failed that one. I still made 250k, 1.6 million as a solo, 1.64 million as a solo. So it's viable. It is very, very, very viable. I'd highly recommend everyone go try it. So back to my previous point, why I think this is the best time to get into ABI now, because it has something for everybody. If you're a new player, you're welcome. You're not going to get crapped on like you did in Season 1. If you're a returning player, it's easy for you to slot back in. You already know the game. It's just focusing on making the money. Oh, but this game is pay to win. The only pay to win aspect in this game is composite case. Guys, I'm sitting on 480 million liquid. I've never purchased a single coin. And before you say anything, oh, but you're no life for YouTube. Bullshit. Bullshit. A full-time, excuse me, streamer has over 1,500 hours in this game. I'm half of that. I have a full-time job. I have a very demanding full-time job. I'm married. I go to the gym every day. If I can do it, anyone else can do it. That's what makes me relatable to a lot of people, right? Because I cater to the casual players, to the people that have families, people that have jobs, right? So I make those guides for you guys, right? So you can do what I do and feel like you can play this game and you feel like you can compete with these players, right? Like you don't need to be a god at FPS to play this game. This is not a normal FPS game. This is a survival extraction shooter. And people with high IQ will tend to do better than people with just good PvP skills, but no game awareness or anything like that, right? So that's what I think. Another thing is, I don't know how I feel about skins. Skins are a little bit inaccessible for most players at this point. They are still very expensive, very expensive. Like the best skin in the game, which is this one here, costs about 120 AUD or 80 USD, maybe even more. So, hey, that's where I stand on it. This is why I feel like this season Ignition ABI has been better than ever. This is why I feel it's accessible now to a lot more people. I see a lot older streamers returning to the game. I see interest has peaked again. It's getting the viewers back it deserves. And I think we are on the right track. We're not there yet, but we are on the right track. It's making a comeback. It's a step in the right direction. The player base has shown it. The reviews have shown it. And yeah, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, whether you agree or disagree with me. Anyways, that's my thoughts. Really, really looking forward to hear from you guys. Please let me know. Don't be shy. Drop in, say hello. Let me know your experience with Season 1 Ignition. I'm just curious to see how everyone's tracking. I think we are definitely making way in the right direction. As always, thank you for watching. I do appreciate your time. If you do enjoy the content, don't forget to hit that sub button. Peace.